This is the Free Zone Communique, transmitting from Virginia's unoccupied sector. If you think smart cities, DEI, censorship, government intrusion, bug paste, and other left-wing nonsense are no longer a possibility, think again. We've won one election with slim majorities. Our work to rebuild a free and sane America has just begun.
This is the Free Zone Communique, bringing hope to people trapped behind the wire in blue cities. I'm your host, Matt Jordan. We are in a battle in a lot of places politically, and we just might pull it off. Let's keep banging away. First, fighting for the soul of New York City. My heart goes out to New York City voters. They are faced with a weird panoply of personalities in the race for mayor. The choice, one, Mamdani, is a socialist jihadi who has accomplished nothing in his young, inexperienced, ignorant life except to bitch about things he knows nothing about. More on him in just a bit. The second choice is an ex-governor who was, hands down, the most corrupt and incompetent governor New York has seen in generations. His policies actively killed people during the pandemic. He's a witless ass grabber and got caught with his hands in the panties. For the record, I don't judge the ass grabbing part. I'm a devotee of grabbing pretty girls' asses if they are okay with it. And I don't think being a boss makes me irresistible to women like Andy the Nostril does. And that's the most pathetic part. For my part, I'm just naturally sexy. Cuomo also used his office for various nefarious personal benefits. But hang on to your ass, Fred. We'll put Andrew Cuomo aside for just a minute or nine. Coming in at third position is a guy who looks like Armand DeSantis' angry little brother. The red beret was cool in the 80s, and I'm sure a few 15-year-olds probably still think it's cool. But come on, Curtis. You should have lost the beret after your announcement speech. I think it is the thing that has hobbled your campaign. Sleewood does have interesting things to say. He's brash and gruff, but so what? This is New York City we're talking about, not Martha's Vineyard. Shakespeare he ain't. But he has the most down-to-earth ideas for the city. He's a Reagan Republican without the armory of theoretical economists. The city could benefit from about 20 years of Reagan Republicanism. Sadly, I think the beret was a distraction and a bit of a Captain Queeg stolen cheese triumph. There's a footnote. All due respect to the guardian angels and what they represented, a man of Sleewa's age should have left his past to mere mention. To make his accomplishments from 40 years ago so front and center was kind of creepy. I believe wearing the beret cost him 10 points at least. People like him, but couldn't take the getup seriously. If he was advised to wear the damn thing, he was poorly served. All that said, I think the choice that does not destroy New York City for decades to come, if not forever, is between the latter two mentioned here. Cuomo is a skunk, but he's an admonished skunk. Were he to be elected mayor, opponents and a few honest prosecutors, if we have any left, would be analyzing every move he made. You know, there would be women just waiting for the least offhand remark to take to the media or the courts. Cuomo is also a known entity with massive executive experience. You can't say that about his opponents. While Sliwa was founder and CEO of the Guardian Angels, you can't really compare that to Cuomo's experience. But even with his limited experience, Sliwa is light years ahead of Mamdani, a performance artist who has run nothing of substance. Although it pains me to say it, I can't believe the words are about to come out of my mouth. The best choice this year for New York City is Andy the Nostril. If the grown-ups in the room abandon their silly fetish of Mamdani, I don't think there's enough to swing toward Curtis Sliwa to carry him across. But unless more than half of the voters are completely off their meds, the race from here on out should be a two-man race. Cuomo versus Sliwa. Now, why do I say that? It's simple. It's my hatred for jihadis and what they represent in Western culture. This is a jihadi and a subhuman. He killed about 3,000 people in New York City and many thousands more around the world. This is also a subhuman jihadi. Omar Abdel Rahman, the blind sheikh. He tried to kill thousands in New York City and called for jihad against the United States. This is what jihadis do.
Holy fuck!
These are subhuman jihadis. Also, these are subhuman jihadis. These are jihadis celebrating the subhuman actions of other jihadis in Gaza on 10/7. The poor Gazans. This is also a jihadi, Jeffrey Kearse. Religion showbiz name, Siraj Wahaj. Kearse openly cheered the World Trade Center attacks in '93. He had to hide his glee on 9/11. He calls the United States garbage and is part of the effort to pervert the West with Sharia law. He's seen here with his jihadi pal, Zoran Mamdani. I'll let Mamdani speak for himself.
Anyone to care about these issues, we have to make them hyperlocal. We have to make clear that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF.
We came here to remake this state in the image of our people.
His dad says suicide bombers, killers of civilians, are just misunderstood and shouldn't be stigmatized. That's because his dad is also a jihadi who believes it's okay to target civilians with mindless violence. The next time you discuss a suicide bomber, be sure to stigmatize the shit out of him. Or her, whichever. There's a footnote. If you lead jihad, cheer jihad, support jihad, according to Islamic, quote, clerics, you are a jihadi. Mamdani is a leading figure in the political fight to pervert Western culture, and he is a Jew-hating socialist. He's one of those who say the Jews and the IDF control everything. So he hates the United States and what it stands for on two fronts, religious and economic. but he hates us with such a cute and engaging smile. New Yorkers, get this one right. Let the idiot, non-assimilated wing of the Muslim community, along with whatever illegals who will be voting, back the jihadi. The normal, civilized people should make it a contest between Cuomo and Sliwa. Best man win. One last point about New York City. I've heard people say words to the effect of, let them elect the guy, talking about Mamdani. That'll be a lesson for the future. No, that will not be the result. A Mamdani victory will be seen as validation of socialism and jihad, and the inevitable repression that would result. Between the ignorance of Gens X and Z, along with today's technology, a socialist would have no trouble cementing his position of power. This is not the time or the place to experiment. Clear repudiation of socialism and jihad are what is needed. Okay, let's cross the river to New Jersey. We're hearing a lot about affordability from Dems on both sides of the Hudson River. This is perhaps the emptiest of political arguments in play today. Affordability and free stuff and rent control are all examples of politicians promising what they will not deliver. Or if they do, will wreck the economy in question. It's been tried, and as predicted, it has failed every time. But every 10 or 12 years, shallow politicians bet on the ignorance of their constituency and promise extra recess and free toys for everybody. To the voters, how ignorant are you? Do you believe this shit about politicians making things, quote, affordable for you? Do you believe in economic central planning? Because if you vote for it, you will be steamrolled. The Dems and the Garden State say they are going to fix the skyrocketing cost of energy by doubling and tripling down on what they did to get you here today. Trust me, the voice of experience says, and history insists, that everything these morons try to manipulate will end up costing exponentially more for their meddling. Look at college and medical insurance for proof. The Dems will drive energy costs to unimaginably new heights, while not creating a grid that can provide for the needs we know are coming. New Jersey, this is your chance to reverse years of damage and get your house in order before you become a sicker, weaker version of California. But if you like higher taxes, a higher cost of living, and a shittier life overall, by all means, vote Democrat.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Let's bring it back to the undisclosed location, Virginia. I cannot believe that Virginia is even a contest, much less leaning a bit left. Even if you live in Northern Virginia, there is nowhere the Dem Party in Virginia touches your reality. Spamberger is the embodiment of the pejorative bony-ass white woman. If you look up Karen in the dictionary of slang, you'll see her picture. She has started to tout her military experience again, despite the cheating that launched it. And her time in the military is nothing compared to that of Earl Sears. Spamberger wants to mutilate your kids, teach little boys about blowjobs, and send men into your daughter's locker room. And Spamberger insists that you have no say in the matter, no right to object. The Dem AG candidate is damaged goods. He's not a guy who said, hey, I'd like to shoot so-and-so, and then said, I don't mean that, you know what I'm saying. No, this asshole doubled and tripled down on his killing talk. He said he wanted the wife of a political opponent to watch her kids die. This is the dog shit candidate the Dems put up for Attorney General. And so doggedly lockstep is the party. They can't slap the man down, even for the good of the party, if not for the Commonwealth. The best they can offer is to mutter something about Jay Jones apologizing for his psychotic display of hate. Let's try a thought experiment. If I said I want to see 2 bullets in that man's head, would that be okay? What if I said I wanted the woman in the picture to watch those kids die? Would that be okay? I mean, what if I apologized years later because I was running for office, and only because I got caught, not because I was really contrite? Wouldn't that fix the boo-boo? Wouldn't it be okay for running mates to circle the wagons for me? Would it be okay for the top of my ticket to stare into space and say nothing when challenged, as Spamberger did for several minutes in the last debate? I've seen some political cowardice in my day, but the Dems and the Jay Jones affair are second only to the gutlessness among Dems in the Senate supporting Chuck's shutdown. What is the alternative for Virginia? We have Winsome Earl-Sears. She is a genuine, hardworking, experienced adult. She and everyone around her has spent the last several years fighting for our kids, not pedos or groomers or cross-dressers or kinky parents. As a savvy conservative, she is precisely what Virginia's going to need to carry us through real issues like the power grid, crime, taxes, and racist redistricting. One term of Sears, Reed, and another one of Mieres will result in a safer, more prosperous Virginia. Just one term of Spamberger and her ilk put all of Virginia in the crosshairs of the lunatics I discussed in an earlier piece. There's a link in the text. Spamberger is a true believer in the left's central planning, total control form of governance. And things are going to go south real quick in states that don't fight these elites. Don't let Virginia be one of those states that lay down in front of the lefty elites. Oh, but MJ, what about the shutdown and the layoffs? Yeah, that's what the dying mainstream media want you to consider when you vote next week. They talk about it all the time. And there are actually people who think the two are connected. They are not. The Lieutenant Governor of Virginia did not tell Chuck Schumer to put a poison pill in the CR. He made that stupid move all by himself, out of fear that he'll be primaried by Alexandria Occasional Cortex. Occident. Goddamn autocorrect. The point is, you live in a sovereign commonwealth. What the swamp does is not driven by Virginia, and what we do is not driven by the swamp, or at least won't be if we aren't stupid. If you're a non-essential worker right now, you're on a paid vacation. The layoffs, also having nothing to do with Virginia government, have been tiny compared to the number of people who could justifiably be canned. So think about your neighborhood and your home state, and don't think like a mindless member of the lefty tribe. Vote your interests If those interests include a normal life for our kids, lower taxes, and a better quality of life, vote GOP. Sears Reed Mayeris.
Please tell a friend about the Free Zone Communique. We live and die with the share and subscribe buttons. Please use affiliate and sponsor buttons to support our work. Thank you very much for joining us today.